Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sunday Scaries with Charity Kristen. Can y'all believe we're at the end of the year? I don't know about y'all, but this has been the slowest but fastest year. And I know that doesn't make sense, but that's how it's felt. I feel like I blinked and this year is over, but it also feels like it has taken forever to get to this point. Does anybody else feel that way, or is it just me? Am I just crazy? Because it's very possible, but I don't know. It's been a great year to say the least. I started this whole little podcast influencer journey, and while I was thinking of talking points for this episode, I was just doing a little bit of reflecting, and I was just kind of damn, I really started a podcast. I started doing content creation. I've made so many friends. I'm just feeling really grateful. And I'm about to get sappy for a second. I'm just so grateful for everybody that's been involved in this. Chaz, Bella, Gage, they have been the absolute backbone of this podcast. And you guys don't see it behind the scenes, but they are literally killing it. I just come on here and yap, and they just make it all look so easy, and they've made me feel so comfortable. I don't know, my confidence has just kind of skyrocketed ever since I entered this whole influencer space. I don't know. And what's crazy is I was terrified to do this about a year ago. This podcast was just a little idea in my phone in July of, what year was that? 2023. And I went into 2024, no plan, just vibes. Didn't buy equipment, didn't do anything. It was just an idea I had in my head. I made an Instagram page. I was like, this podcast is launching 2024. I'm here telling the whole Instagram I have a podcast coming out. And I'm in my head do I have a podcast coming out? I don't have any podcast equipment. I have nothing to shoot this podcast with. I don't know where this podcast is going to go. I have no ideas for the podcast other than the fact I want it to be called Sunday Scaries with Charity Kristen. That's all I had. I just had an idea and a dream. And literally come, what was it? June, July, one of these months, I meet Bella. And Bella actually is the founder of All She Wants Media, my management, and she is literally the mastermind behind all of this. She made it all happen. And again, I'm being a little bit sappy. I'm just feeling very grateful for everybody on the team. And it's just I just can't believe that I'm actually sitting here doing this. It's just a little dream of mine that came true. And I just didn't think this was going to happen just like that. And here I am sitting in a chair talking to you guys. And it's very surreal. Everything's been really surreal just since August. I really just started this in August, right before my 25th birthday. And I was 25 is going to be a big year for me. And I feel like we're just getting started. And again, I know that sounds corny. And also, don't judge me. I have my little talking points on my phone today because life has been lifing. And I've had to just type them on my phone. I don't have my notebook today. So we're a little discombobulated, but it's okay because it's just the scaries and we're just navigating through it. And yeah, I just wanted to go over a little bit about talking about entering the influencer space, just because for me it was really intimidating when I first started. It's oh, I'm hanging around all of these different influencers, they have all these followers, oh my gosh, I'm down here and they're up here. You can't help but compare yourself to all of these other people that you're surrounded by. But at least in Nashville, I don't know about LA and New York and Miami and all of those influencers, but the influencers in Nashville are some of the most genuine people that I've ever met. These people, I actually consider them friends. I don't know. I'm just grateful for them. They've kind of helped me navigate my way, especially Gage, Taylor Burke, and Tyler. Wow, can't talk. Tyra Madison. I don't know. Those three have just helped me through everything influencer-wise, and I don't even think they realize it for real, but just talking to them about different events and different things that I'm promoting, and stuff like that. It's just nice to have somebody to have a genuine conversation with without like, oh, that's cool, or oh, what are you doing here? Like, I just genuine, solid advice. It's just been so appreciated, and like, it's helped me with my content creation. Like, posting consistently has been my struggle, and now I'm at a point where I'm posting at least once a day, and I've learned that that is easier said than done, y'all. Like, it is so hard to come up with content ideas every single day. And when I first started this, I was posting like 3 times a day, and 3 times a day was a little much for me, but even once a day is still a lot. But I'm at a point to where I'm comfortably doing that now. I'm more confident in my content, in my editing skills, and just like my eye whenever I'm shooting. Um, I feel like a lot of people think of content creation as just like picking up the camera and just doing something. And in a sense, it is, but as somebody who's passionate about it, it's not. Like, I don't know, I have a film degree, y'all, so I just, I look at the stuff that I shoot, so I very much get in my head. I'm my biggest critic, and I feel like it's a good thing, just because I won't just put out anything. But at the same time, I'm also my worst enemy, because it's like I could put out something that's really good and I'll hate it 2 days later if it doesn't do any type of numbers. I'm like, ugh, like this was terrible. Whole time, the algorithm just hates me, and I just need to accept that. Like, it is what it is. But I just kind of wanted to go over a couple things that have helped me grow, especially on TikTok. I guess Instagram too, but I've grown way more on TikTok than I have on Instagram follower-wise. Reach-wise, I've grown a lot on Instagram as well. But collaboration is the biggest one. Oh my gosh, I cannot stress this enough, you guys, especially on Instagram. But if you ever post a TikTok or a reel, especially on Instagram, make sure you invite collaborators. This has literally gotten me so much reach. Like, if I collab with Gage or a local bar in Nashville or like Spiked Coolers, like, my engagement has literally skyrocketed. And then it's also like you're consistently posting that content, and then you're building relationships with those brands as well. And then while you're building a brand for yourself, I don't know if that makes sense, but yes, collaboration is key. Like, I think that is my biggest takeaway from all of this. Like, it's cool doing content by yourself. Like, sometimes I'll just be in my room talking to my camera, blah, 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 fun. But I would much rather be promoting a brand or a local Nashville spot or a product, or working with another influencer, just because you can just kind of bounce off different ideas, and you just get way more comfortable when you're around other people. I don't know if you guys saw my last podcast episode with Gage, but he literally had me cracking up the entire time. We had talking points, but that episode was an hour and a half long for a reason, because we kept going way off script. It was just very organic, very all over the place. And that's my favorite kind of content to create. It's like when I forget that I'm actually trying to follow something, follow an outline, or stick to specific topics. When the content just gets raw, funny, organic, I think that's the best kind of content. And I feel like that's the best kind of content to watch as well, just because it doesn't feel scripted, it doesn't feel serious, it just feels really lighthearted and fun. And that's the vibe that I want to go for with my content. I want people to feel comfortable when they watch me. I want to be like that comfort creator, if that makes sense. So yes, collaboration is great. For TikTok also, going live helps a lot too, and I'm still working on this one. I kind of hate going live because I get nervous. I get really nervous because it's like these people are just watching me. I'm like, especially when you're going live and the people are viewing and they're not they're not like commenting, and you're just here like, so you guys gonna say anything? Because I'm just literally sitting here. Like, I went live last week while I was waiting for a curbside pickup order at the Home Depot, and I had this random person invite me into his live. I have no idea who this person was. He invites me into his live. They're not even speaking English in the live, but I'm just like, this is literally so much fun. I'm collaborating with somebody that I don't know in a language that I don't speak, so I'm just kind of here like, but hey, I don't know, big collaborator here. So if you ever want to go live on TikTok together, DM me because that was fun. Um, but yeah, so collaborating, going live, especially with other creators, posting consistently. And this one is huge, y'all. Post like an influencer, even if you're not one. Like, literally. Do a day in my life, especially if you work out or if you have a cool job. Even if you don't have a cool job, people want to see regular content. Like, I just want to go on TikTok and see things that are relatable, and so does the rest of the world. So if you're doing dishes, doing laundry, cleaning up your apartment, film that. Like, I don't know, everything is content, and I'm finally getting to that point to where I understand that and I'm actually implementing that thought. So I could go to Target and I'll start filming in Target. I'm like, here's my little Target haul, you guys. Like, everybody goes to Target, everybody goes to the grocery store, everybody cleans their space. Like, people want to see the relatable content. Like, yes, we sit there, we watch all of these like super big time influencers in their mansions and their really nice cars do what they do. But it's really nice to just have that comfort knowing that there's other creators out there that are doing the same thing that you're doing and that you can relate to them and vice versa. So here's my message. If you are ever contemplating creating content, just do it. And I know everybody says that, just post your content. But it's so true. Like, I started out in August on TikTok, taking it seriously at like, 119 followers, something like that. I just hit 5K yesterday, and I'm at 5.1K today. And my old TikToks, like, they're just growing exponentially, and I'm just kind of confused because I'm like, I posted this a minute ago, not mad at it, but I'm like, hey guys, this was posted a month ago, but now it's starting to gain some traction. So, and another thing, like, don't get discouraged when your content doesn't immediately take off, because like now I have 2 TikToks that are gaining traction a month after I posted them. The algorithm is just weird. If you're passionate about creating, create. Like, do what makes you happy. Like, content makes me so happy. Like, and it's very broad, but I'm realizing that this is just a really nice creative outlet because I also work a 9 to 5, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But having that creative outlet on the side has literally helped me tremendously mentally. And I don't know, just being surrounded by other creatives and just being able to see the world through like a lens has, I don't know, it's just mind blowing. And it changes your life. Like, I don't know. And this just goes in to say, just be delusional about it. Like, I started this, I was like, I'm just gonna make my content, influencer, like day in my life, record, film, edit, boom. And then now, here we are. So just be delusional. Do what you want. Like, don't worry about what other people have to say. If I wasn't so worried about other people's opinions, I would have started this podcast probably a year and a half ago when I first thought of a podcast. Now, the actual idea didn't come until like 2023, like I said, but I've always wanted to do a podcast because, you know, I am a certified yapper. That's just what I do. But I was so worried about what other people would say. It's like, oh, her podcast is boring. Oh, she does this. Oh, she does that. Who cares? I don't care about what other people think anymore. I do it because it makes me happy. And if you have something that makes you happy, you should do it too. And that's just it. Thank you. But ever since I entered the influencer space, I've just gained so many great relationships, like Bella, of course, and Gage, and Chaz, and Nashville pop artists. Like, not only do I meet influencers, I meet musicians, and just being surrounded by people that just fuel you creatively. I don't know, it just ignites a spark in me that I can't verbally articulate, but it's just such a good feeling, y'all. Like, they say that you are who you hang around, so I hang around a bunch of creatives. I would hope that I'm creative. I try to be creative. I like to create things, but Yes, whenever you start posting your content and you want to enter this space, just make sure that you're building relationships and you're talking to people because that's the most valuable thing. Again, that goes into collaboration as well, but just being surrounded by all of these other creative people, just it gives me so many ideas for my own content. It gives me ideas on how I could potentially collaborate with other musicians. I go to different event mixers. I'm just surrounded by so many different people: photographers, videographers, graphic designers, um, musicians, influencers. Like, the scene here in Nashville is so diverse and I love it. And everybody's just so raw and real too. Like, there's never any like weird fake animosity like I hear about with like LA influencers and stuff. And it goes like to the same with Nashville brands. Like, all of the brands in Nashville, ugh, love, literally love. Spike Coolers actually has my heart. Like, I love everybody over at Spiked. Like, Spiked has given me so many different opportunities, and they've been supporting my content since day one. Wow, words are hard today. Um, Along with Fizz Facial Bar, Barstool. There's so many local brands that are just willing to work with you, and you just have to kind of put yourself out there. And that was my biggest takeaway. Well, I have a lot of really big takeaways, as you guys can see, but like, just put yourself out there, talk to people, collaborate. Let me take a sip of my mystery juice. It's White Claw. But yeah, that goes to say I'm just really excited about what's to come in 2025. I feel like it's going to be such a big year for everybody on the All She Wants Media team, and there's just a lot of stuff happening. And it's not my place to talk about it, but I'm just so pumped. With that being said, what kind of content do you guys want to see from me? Like, do we want more wellness? Do we want more feral content? More story times, like traveling? Because I'm going to be doing a lot of all of the above. And I just want to show you guys more of what y'all want to see from me because it's going to be fun. We are going to have a time, y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I can't contain myself. But just wait. Just wait. So, along with my influencer lifestyle, I also work a 9 to 5. Yeah, crazy, right? There's normal people out there. And let me just start by saying there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. I love my 9 to 5. I love the consistent income that I get from it, first of all. And I just love being around everybody at my job because, one, it aligns with my values, and the team that I work with is just amazing. But that goes to say it doesn't stimulate me creatively because I don't do creative work at my job. So trying to juggle that along with this, it can be a bit of a challenge sometimes, I won't lie to you, but I feel like it's so worth it. I just lost my notes. Hold on, let me pull them back up. But yeah, I just don't really like when people talk about how they're like, oh, I want to quit my 9 to 5 and be a full-time influencer, blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, like, that'd be so cool, like, ideal, right? But I don't know, I just feel like it's a privilege to work a 9 to 5 coming from working like 7 years of retail. I just love the consistency that comes with my 9 to 5. And I don't know, I just kind of see it as a privilege. And I like being able to juggle both. Gives my brain two different sides of my brain: creative side and then actual like working, organized data side. Like, I know that doesn't make sense, but that's how my brain quite literally works. And a lot of people kind of wanted me to go in on what it was like to finish undergrad and go through that job search and find a job, but realizing it's not what I went to school for. So, a little bit of a background on me. I went to Middle Tennessee State University. I graduated 3 years ago today, actually, and I majored in film, minored in media management and photography. So, all of this is like great. It's fueling me. But my 9 to 5, I'm a coordinator. So, it's a little bit different from this, but I personally love how different the two are. It's kind of like yin and yang, very ADHD here. So once I get bored doing one thing, I can just be like, oh, I still have this. Like today I was at work, coordinating things as a coordinator would do. And I was like, oh, I have my podcast shoot tonight. So I had that to look forward to. And it's literally just like the switch between the two. And a lot of influencers actually have I'm learning a lot of influencers have like actual jobs alongside what they do. So if you just see all of these influencers on your social media, just know that that's probably not their only source of income, especially smaller ones like me. Like, let's be real, I have 5,000 followers. Like, not gonna fund my lifestyle. But even if it did, I'd probably still want to keep my 9 to 5 because, again, I just love the balance. And it doesn't sound balanced at all now that I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. My brain is just very much all over the place, and I just need to just bounce from like one thing to the other. I'm not linear at all. Like, I need to do this. Like, I'm very much like that one episode of SpongeBob where it's like, we're not talking about this, we're not talking about this, we're talking about this. That's literally my brain. So I personally love it. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I also clock into my content like it's my 9 to 5. So I'll get home from work and I'll just boom, 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 and I'll edit different content, different TikToks and Reels. I try to shoot content in bulk so that way I have different pieces to post. Shooting multiple content pieces is key. Or if you're shooting one content piece and just breaking it up into different pieces for short form content, like for example, like I shoot the podcast. This is a little bit more of a long form, but we'll split it up and we'll post different Reels and TikToks, and which makes it short form. So throughout the month, I have a few different content pieces just from this one little episode, if that makes sense. But I try to do it like that. So, I work my coordinating stuff during the day, during the week, and then on the weekends, I just really lock in with my actual creative side, my content. I'll always write down ideas that I have on my phone. My phone is literally like my journal whenever I don't have my physical journal. Anytime I get an idea, I'm like, ooh, let me write this down. Because I'm so forgetful. Again, ADHD. But, yeah, so just writing down everything. And I've been getting questions, why don't I create content at work? And here's why. I like to keep things separate. I don't know. I just feel weird bringing out my camera at work. I even feel weird when, like, my coworkers, who I consider some of my really close friends, like, when they ask me about my podcast and my content, or, like, whenever people that I work with ask for the links, I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Like, I'm shy. And the whole time I'm not shy, but I don't know. It's just, like, two different worlds for me. So I just like to keep this world here and this world there. So will I ever create content at work? Maybe. I would love to get to a point to where I'm creating content for my actual job, like in the company that I work for. That's like an ultimate goal. But for right now, my personal content, I don't know. I would just rather keep them separate. And I know that there's a lot of creators that do day in my lives and they show what they do for work. But I just personally feel like that doesn't align with where I am right now. Could that change? Possibly. But right now, I'm just, But yeah, so a 9 to 5 is not the worst thing in the world. A lot of people have 9 to 5s, and if you want to create content and you want to work a 9 to 5, do it. Guess what? I'm doing it, so you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, okay, thanks. Okay, now let's get into the good stuff. Our little best of 2024 feral story. Wow, words. For being a yapper, I sure do mess up words pretty often. But feral story times and tea. First, let's talk about Bella and Austin's tour. Oh my gosh, y'all. If you didn't get to go on this tour, you missed out. I'm hoping that they do another leg in 2025. I don't know. We'll see. But they absolutely killed it. I went to the shows in Nashville, and I flew to New York to go to the New York show. And the New York show was a time, y'all. Oh my gosh. So we went to the show. It was at Desert's 5 Spot, super cute venue. The drinks were so good. And after the show, these girls grabbed me, and this was like my first time getting like recognized for real. And I was actually kind of scared, but it was the most surreal feeling. So these girls grabbed me. They're like, Charity, and I'm like, hi. And they're like, why haven't we taken a shot together? And I'm like, do you want to take a shot? So next thing I know, I'm taking shots with these girls that I don't even know, but they were the absolute sweetest. So if you guys are watching this, y'all actually have my heart. Like that, I'll never forget that moment. It was so surreal. And I was probably so awkward in that moment because that's just who I am as a person. I'm very awkward. If you come up to me and you try talking to me, I'm like, oh, hi. Like I'm scared. Like the social anxiety just like slowly creeps in. But no, like that was probably like top 5 moments in my life. Like it was just amazing. And we had a great time at the show. Went to the after party. The after party was at Plume in Manhattan. And after the after party, me, Gage, Austin, and everybody else, we end up walking to Times Square at 5 in the morning. Mind you, this was like an 18-block walk. It's freezing outside. We're in New York City. It's 5 in the morning. I have my boots on. So I don't remember part of the walk, obviously, but I looked in my camera roll and I was like, oh, we walked to Times Square, all the way to Times Square. And then we walked to Times Square to go to McDonald's. I was like, why did we walk all the way to Times Square to go to McDonald's? It was the funniest thing. Then the next morning, I wake up in a hotel room with Gage. Gage wakes up and he looks at me and he's like, Charity. I started freaking out for a second because I thought I brought like a guy back to the hotel room, and then I looked and he was like, it's just Charity, thank God. But I woke up and I was like, I look over, Gage is there, and I'm just like, where am I at? And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then as we're having like our little debrief, as you know, the girlies do after a feral night out, we're like putting bits and pieces together. I'm like, did I say anything stupid? He's like, did I say anything stupid? Like the scaries, y'all. Ooh, the scaries were in full effect. Like, I don't think I'll ever have any worse scaries than that. Because it's just like, I just walked to Times Square with Austin Mahone and Gage Briney, and I woke up in a hotel room with Gage Briney confused. Like, but it was the most fun thing. Like, guys, we should do that again. Like, let's go back to New York and walk to Times Square at 5 a.m. again. Preferably when the weather's kind of warmer, though, because it was kind of chilly. And after that, I think I had the worst hangover. Wow, words. Here I go again. Worst hangover of my life. So I leave the hotel when it's time to check out, and I go back to my cousin's house, and we were all supposed to go out. I think this was Friday. Yeah, Friday night. I did not move. I laid in bed all day long. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. I wasted an entire day in New York City because I was hungover. And that's what 25 will do to you. So all of my friends that are watching this, life hits you hard right in the middle of your 20s. Like, I'm realizing that. Like, my hangovers were bad, but they weren't that bad. Like, I've never been on bed rest for 24 whole hours from a hangover. And then I went out the next day, and I really couldn't turn up because I was scared of getting another hangover like the one I had just had. So, I don't know, y'all. I really don't know how much longer the feral content can go because I was in critical condition when I woke up that next day, and it didn't go away. So, if anybody has any good hangover remedies, hit me up because I made a mistake and I didn't bring my water boy with me because I didn't have any more. I know water boy is a good one. But any other remedies? Tell me. Like, please. I need them. We all need them. Like, because Gage and I were down very bad that next day. Okay, thank you. Another big lesson that I learned in 2024, well, I knew this, but I'm finally starting to understand it. Military men, we're done with them. My experience with not one, not two, but 3. Oh my gosh, y'all. No. If you are ever scrolling on Hinge, this is for my girls, especially in Nashville. If you're scrolling on Hinge, they like to hide their location. If it just says Clarksville, or if it says Oak Grove, don't match with him because he lives on that military base and he's toxic. Military men, ooh. My girls will understand. If you know, you know, okay? Let me just say that. Just run for the hills. Save yourself. Because I had to learn that lesson again, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And yeah, so, unless you want to go to therapy, yeah, talk to a military man. Like, that's the easiest way to end up in therapy or, like, the psych ward, something like that. But, yeah, okay. I also kind of want to talk about different dating apps in 2024 because I've experimented on all of them. Charity's trying to find her husband, right? So, it's been a struggle, to say the least. So, I feel like I've been on all the popular dating apps. Like, I haven't been on Tinder at all in 2024 because I don't believe in Tinder. I won't find my husband on Tinder. Like, the people that have found actual love on Tinder, y'all are just lucky, okay? I know I'm not that lucky, so I've just avoided Tinder at all costs. We tried Bumble. Bumble wasn't working out in my favor either, so Bumble had to go. Then we went to Hinge. I've always had the best luck on Hinge. So I was like, you know what? Hinge will do me right. Hinge will not steer me in the wrong direction. Wrong. It, took me in the wrong direction. Couldn't even do a detour. That's how deep we were in. Like, yeah. Hinge was giving very much proceed to the route. No reroute, no nothing. Like, But, you guys, this hidden gem, and I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for this, I think, but I personally think the best dating app of 2024 is Facebook dating. And people are gonna say that sounds very, like, boomer, very old of me, but no. Facebook dating is kind of elite because, one, they go beyond where you're at. Like, I've had more matches on Facebook dating in not Nashville because I'm convinced that my future husband is not in Nashville. I feel like I know where my future husband is. He's in Florida. And I just, Facebook dating shows me people in Florida. I don't go looking for those people. They just pop up in my likes. It's a sign. Like, Facebook just knows. And I think they do it, like, based on where you've, like, checked in or, like, where you've traveled to. Because, like, I'm the type of person, I will post where I'm at on Facebook. Like, I like to update the fam. I'm like, hey, I'm on the beach. Hey, I'm at Disney. Hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm there. And I just feel like Facebook takes that data and puts it in their dating app and shows you potential people in those places. Because it's like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like I'm meant to be in Florida. I don't know. But Facebook dating, y'all, if you haven't tried it, just give it a try. Because I personally love it. Like, well, I did love it. I'm not on it anymore because, I don't know, things are looking good. So, try Facebook dating. Facebook, collab with me. I literally just rooted for y'all so hard. I think that was great. That was a great pitch for Facebook dating. But no, actually try it. If you're in the slums like I was on dating apps, just try Facebook dating. Now, it can be trenchy sometimes, but There's some golden nuggets in there. So just try it. Okay. So I'm just sighing reading this because I don't want to talk about it, but I have to talk about it because this happened and I can't believe it happened. Okay. So I was talking to this man that lives in Florida. We no longer talk, okay? And we were talking this year. We met last year in Florida. It was like just little chit chat here and there for months, and then we started talking more and more. He invites me to the Justin Timberlake concert in Florida. If you know me, you know Justin Timberlake is the actual love of my life. Like, I was immediately like, yes, like, I'll come. Like, yes, on my way. I booked a flight and everything, y'all. Like, I had the flight booked. I was ready to go. Tell me why. A week before the concert, this man blocks me on everything. No explanation, no nothing. Nothing that led up to that. I was more heartbroken about not being able to see Justin Timberlake than him blocking me. Because why would you do that? Like, luckily, my best friend lives in Tampa, and this man lives in Tampa, so I still went, and I had a ball. But my best friend was tired of me complaining about the fact that we didn't go see Justin Timberlake because she didn't want to go. I wasn't going to go by myself because, one, I don't live in Tampa, and I don't have a car. And I would have felt bad if I just pulled up to Tampa and I went to this concert without her. But that actually quite literally made me sick. Like, I don't know. Like, y'all see it. I'm sweating now. Because what? Needless to say, I still haven't seen Justin Timberlake one time on this tour, and I'm not going to see him because I will be in Gatlinburg when he comes to Nashville. So I'm going to miss the Nashville show too, and I'm pretty heartbroken about it. And my cousins texted me the day before yesterday. They were like, hey, are you going to the Justin Timberlake show? And I was like, no. And they were like, oh, well, we just got tickets. And I wanted to throw my phone across the room. Like, this is just turning into a rant about how much I love Justin Timberlake. Like, forget Tampa, man. We're talking about Justin Timberlake now. But I was like, y'all are going to the concert? And you got tickets? And you didn't tell me? And I hope y'all are watching this because I was very hurt. But needless to say, they're getting me merch, and I'm probably going to FaceTime one of them so I don't feel completely left out. But I think I've had more heartbreak with Justin Timberlake than I have with men this year because, y'all, down bad. Sick. Actually sickening. And then I kind of want to end this on a good positive note when it comes to my terrible dating life. I think things are getting a little bit better, but things are getting better now because we finally cut off the situationship, y'all. I cut off the situationship months ago, and I'm finally feeling like I'm thriving. If you have a situationship and it's going on for a year, maybe 2 years, it's way too long, okay? Take it from me. It's not going anywhere. Just accept it and move on to somebody that actually likes you because your situationship does not like you. Once I finally got that realization in my head, I was like, oh, okay. I can actually, like, move on, date, enjoy life, not cry myself to sleep every night, eat, just, like, normal things that situationships stopped me from doing. Like, I really enjoy eating now. Like, it's actually really nice. I love a good meal. But yes, girlies, we are going into 2025. Ooh, we're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be feral. We're gonna get with the feral wellness. I just don't. There's just so much I want to say, but I don't want to say it yet. But just know we are going to have a ball. And to those of you that have started listening to the podcast this year, those of you that have been tuned in since the very beginning, I love you so much. And thank you guys so much for supporting me. There's just no words. Like, I just love this. And the fact that people like to watch me yap means everything. And you know what? We're only going to keep it going. So Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.